friends, and welcome back to Living the North Jersey Lifestyle. I'm your host, Betti Russo, realtor, homestager, community advocate, and someone who believes that your next move should always feel like a fresh start. If you're thinking of selling this summer, curious about how the Ringwood market is, yep, we're talking about Ringwood. You want to know how that market is trending or just love discovering standout local businesses, this episode is definitely for you. Today, I'll be sharing outdoor staging tips that buyers can't resist, breaking down what's happening in one of my favorite towns and introducing you to a local business owner whose work is all about care, connection, and community. Let's start with something I see a lot this time of year. Sellers are often asking, does the outside of my home really matter that much? Well, the answer is yes, more than you think. So let's start with backyard staging and why your backyard should feel like a day at the shore. So let me paint a quick picture for you. You pull up to a home for a showing. The front path is clear. The flowers are blooming. And as you walk through the backyard, you instantly feel like you're on vacation. Calm, relaxed, ready to stay a while. That is what buyers are craving this time of year. And yet, I still hear it all the time. It's summer. The yard is fine. People will get it. But here's the thing. Fine does not sell. Connection does. So today, I want to walk you through 3 ways to turn your outdoor space into something buyers won't just notice. They will feel it. First, start with the path to the front door. Your curb appeal sets the tone. A cracked walkway or a faded welcome mat, it's like arriving at the beach and realizing you forgot your sandals. Clean it up, add some planters, maybe a fresh coat of paint on the front door. Make it feel like the start of something great. Second, create a staycation moment. Whether it's a bistro table on the deck, string lights across the yard, or just a few cozy chairs around a fire pit, the goal is to help buyers picture themselves relaxing there. I had a client in Oakland turn a plain backyard into a relaxing escape with just a few Adirondack chairs and some soft lighting. The buyer said it reminded them of weekends at the shore, and they made an offer that night. Third, edit the clutter. What do I mean by that? Well, this one is big. Toys, tools, too many planters. It all feels like work, and buyers are already picturing their to-do list. Give them space to dream instead. And now for the bonus tip, I usually reserve for private staging clients. Use scent. Seriously, a couple of pots of lavender or rosemary by the patio can create a calming atmosphere that buyers won't forget. One of my clients added lavender by the back steps and got comments like, it just felt so peaceful. That is the power of experience. If this has you rethinking your yard, grab my quick start staging guide in the show notes. It's packed with easy, affordable ways to prep your home for sale, starting with what buyers actually feel when they arrive. Now, let's shift gears and talk about what's happening in the market, specifically in Ringwood, New Jersey. So there's a lot of talk about the New Jersey real estate market cooling down, but North Jersey, not so much, and Ringwood is still buzzing. The April 2025 numbers say a lot. Inventory was just a little over 2 months. That's tight and still favors sellers. But that number is also about double what it was this time last year. So we're starting to see the very early signs of a shift. Homes sold in just 13 days on average. Sellers received 3% over their asking price. The median sale price was right around $550,000. This is a market that's active but evolving. And now more than ever, strategy matters. Now, I have a personal connection to Ringwood. My husband and I raised our family there. We moved from Bergen County because we knew we'd get more for our money, and that still holds true today. More space, more nature, more value. Ringwood is a town that gives you room to breathe. It's incredibly family friendly. You've got Ringwood State Park, Northern Green Forest close by. You have Cupsaw Lake, Erskine Lake, Skyline Lake. It's a nature lover's dream. On a nice day, you'll see people kayaking, walking their dogs on the trails, or sitting around a fire pit with neighbors. And it's not just about the lifestyle, it's the value. You can get larger lots and more privacy than in some of the surrounding towns while still being close to Route 287, the Bergen County border, and New York City. Today's buyers, especially Gen X families with hybrid workers, aren't just looking for a house. They're looking for balance, for space, for lifestyle. So what does this mean if you're thinking about selling in Ringwood? It means the window of opportunity is still wide open, but it's not the time to coast. Inventory is rising. That means your home has to stand out. And here's how. Don't just list it, showcase it, lean into the story, highlight the lifestyle. Whether that's your fire pit, your lake access, or just the feel of your yard at sunset, make it emotional. If you're curious what your home might be worth or how to tell that story the right way, reach out anytime. You can also grab the guide linked in the show notes below. And speaking of people who create beauty and connection in Ringwood, let's meet someone who's doing exactly that, one handmade product at a time. This month's local spotlight is someone I think you're going to love. So I'm here with Carrie from Brownies and Ginger, and it's not a bakery. Let's start with that.
No.
Carrie, let's start with your story. How did you decide to start this little business of yours, and where did you get the name from?
So I started this little endeavor because I was a nurse, tired of working nights, weekends, holidays. So my husband said, why don't you find something you could do from home? So I had been making my own soap because I have eczema, dry skin. So I kind of parlayed that into a little business, got a table at a Christmas fair, craft fair one year, and did great. And then people started asking me for more things, more soap. Was wonderful around the holidays, but I needed to find a way to keep it going throughout the year. So I then started marketing my products as bridal shower, wedding favors, and that was 12 years ago, and here I am.
It's been 12 years.
It's been 12 years, yeah, 2013.
Wow.
I was still working as a nurse, but, doing this on the side. And then it got to the point where this was kind of overtaking my hours in the day, so I kind of stepped back from nursing, and it's been like that ever since. I got the name from my daughters. I have two brunettes and a redhead, Brownies and Ginger. Yes, lots of fun. But people do think it is a bakery, but it's not. And it's been great. It's been a great experience for me, and it's still going strong. So
awesome. So from being a nurse, those are some crazy hours.
Yes.
And now you get to make your
my
hours.
Own. Yes.
Right.
It's great.
So it started as something personal for you. Did you start with the soaps or?
Yes. I kind of needed things that didn't have a lot of additives, chemicals, more natural, So basically I use natural vegetable-based oils, lye, that makes the oils into soap, and it's like soap your great-grandmother would have made to wash their clothes, even wash their body. It's just very simple, no chemicals like the big companies add to make the soap last longer or make it harder or make more bubbles that are not good for your skin. Just basic 101 cold processed soap that I make, and I love it. It's like a science experiment too. I love that part of it.
Okay. That would go hand in hand with your background a little bit, because I think with nursing, you need to know a lot of that scientific
Absolutely,
stuff.
yeah. So that was fun too, the learning curve. I did take a little course on safety because you do work with lye when you make soap. There's not lye in your finished product. The lye kind of transforms the oil into what your soap becomes. There's no lye left in the final product, but lye is dangerous. You have to wear protective gear, protect your eyes. It can make you blind if it gets in your eye. Yeah, it's dangerous. So I really wanted to know everything I could about it before I started really getting into it. I was a little intimidated by it, but now it's like second nature. I always have all my PPE. I have my gloves, because even on your skin, lye can cause burns on your skin.
So this is interesting. I didn't even think about this part, and we didn't talk about this beforehand.
No, we didn't.
But what else is the process like? Can you take me through
Sure.
a bar,
So basically, you pick whatever oils, and you have to weigh everything. Kind of like baking, like mass-produced baking, weighing is better than measuring cups, like one cup. It's more by ounces or whatever, or grams. I do ounces. You have to mix your lye. It's an acid, so you have to mix it, weigh it into a measured amount of water. It gets hot instantly, has to cool down before you get it into your soap. And then you get your process ready. Like some of my oils are hard oils, so I have to melt the oils and get them to like an even temperature with everything else that I'm using. So it is a process, and it's a science process, because if one thing's too hot, it'll affect the final product. If you put the lye in too hot, the soap, doesn't come out well. So, and if you don't weigh everything properly, you do get a soap that's lye heavy, which is totally unsafe to use. And now at this time, like you'll know right away you see it, but I'm so careful. I check my scale calibration every time I make soap, and it is very scientific, which I enjoy.
And so you make, I call them flavors, but obviously we're not eating them, right? It's not a bakery, like we said, but the different scents that you make, do they all follow the same process? And when does that personalization part of it come in?
So I of course, lavender soap. I feel like everybody makes lavender soap. It's one of my best sellers because most people love lavender. And lavender essential oil has a lot of skin calming, good effects for, eczema, burns, different things. So it's very calming for your skin. I do use fragrance oils in some of my soaps, but I don't use ones with phthalates because that's just not, it's not a great thing to have, another chemical that you don't need. But for instance, if you use vanilla, I don't make a lot of vanilla soap because vanilla, like you've seen vanilla extract, it's brown.
Yeah.
Vanilla scents in soap, the soap comes out initially white, but over time as it turns brown.
It turns brown.
It looks like chocolate.
And people would be like, oh my gosh, what happened to my soap?
Yeah. So I don't really like to make too many because they're not very pretty. So there's just little nuances, things you learn as you're going. And I've learned a lot over the years, but self-taught, which is great. And, I kind of pick scents that I like. And people seem to like them too. I do get requests for some scents, but when I do get those, I know I might not sell them. So I just make a batch for the specific order. I do that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because like I'll get honeysuckle or like very strong florals that, a lot of people don't really order that. So I'll make a smaller batch for those people if they request it. So I keep a lot of different scents and essential oils on hand for whatever may come.
So that's awesome. I had no idea that you would tailor a soap to somebody's request.
Definitely. I mean, I have, baby showers. People might want like it to smell like the baby fresh, so I do a lot of different things if people request. And I usually keep a big stock of things that people might ask for. So I'm always prepared.
Yes.
Like a good nurse.
That's very good. You've been trained well.
Yes.
So you had mentioned that the lavender is a fan favorite.
Yes.
What's your favorite?
The oatmeal. I like oatmeal soap. Yeah. I think you like that
it's
one too
because
you always order that one.
I love it.
That's a good one. Because it's like skin calming. There's a little bit of grit from the oats. I grind oats up to powder inside the soap batter, and then I just put some regular oats on top. And that's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So the oat. Is it? Wait, I don't even remember. Is it apples and oats?
Apples and oats.
Yes.
Sometimes I do oats and honey. Yes. I change it up.
Okay, I just remember like the oat part of it. It smells delicious, first of all, and it's just so nice on the skin.
Yes.
And when I'm done showering, sometimes there are oats at the bottom of my shower.
Yes, I've had people ask me if it was fudge because when you sometimes some fudge when you go to the boardwalk, there's fudge, and sometimes it looks
and
like
it
this.
looks like that.
Yeah,
that is so funny. I do have to say, I don't know how many years it's been that I've been using your soap. Yeah. However, since I started using it, it's been many years. I use nothing else on my body.
Thank you. That's great.
So
yeah,
it's amazing. It's
once you
so
change,
nice.
you definitely notice the difference. I have to say, especially if you have some like dry skin issues or different things, you definitely know the difference between a homemade, not processed in a factory bar, as opposed to what you like your Dove, even though people say it's safe or it's just different. It's not the same.
Right. So that was one of the things that I wanted to ask you. And you touched on that before, the difference between like homemade versus what you buy in the store.
Right.
All those chemicals.
It's all, If you look at us, you look at my soap, it's basically oil, lye, distilled water, fragrance, and botanicals, whatever. Sometimes I put flower petals, oats, whatever. next time you look at a bar of soap in the store, look at how many ingredients are in your bar of soap. It's a lot that you wouldn't expect and you might not recognize.
I have gotten into the habit over the years, but even more so now, because I have a daughter who is very particular about, the products that she puts on and in her body.
That's good.
That I'm checking labels constantly.
Great. No, it's absolutely.
It's definitely a good habit to get into.
Definitely.
If you can't understand what you're reading, you don't know what that word is, you probably should not be consuming it.
Absolutely. 100% agree. Yeah. So that's kind of part of the reason why I started looking into like what could be causing this besides, the being outside and the cold, obviously your skin gets, so there's other things at play here, what you take internally, what you put on your skin. So it's interesting once you start to break it down. And that's what I did. So then I started making a body balm for like the eczema patches, and people tell me they've used it on things from like a light sun. You've told me like a sunburn. I have people that just come back to me from my body balm every year. And I have to tell you, so it's a little short side story. I had a friend from Ringwood who had passed away, and she used to get this balm from this San Francisco spa. She would spend $200 for it. And she said to me, can you make something similar? So it's not exactly what she had, but she's like, oh my God, this is better. So I started making it for her, and then I started using it. And I was like, wow, this is really, really good for my eczema. So that's kind of like where that all came from. And like I said, I have people from, all over the country that come back and say they'll buy 5, 6 at a time because they'll keep it on hand because they never want to be without it, which
it's saved my sunburned body. That's all I have to say. I'm usually very careful in the sun, and I don't know what happened. I think, yes, I was in Florida. It was a super hot day, and I was like ready to jump right in the water because I don't go in the water unless it's super hot. Right. So I'm like, if I sunscreen now, it's gonna come all off in the water. I'm gonna go jump in the water. I'm gonna get out and sunscreen. Well, that was a mistake. I was fried like a lobster, and I'm like, nothing would help me. And I found a little jar of balm that I had in my bathroom, and I slathered it all over my body, and it was like the most amazing thing.
Yeah, so. It even like a little, not a deep burn, but a cooking burn. If you put that on there, lavender is very calming for burns. I mean, I wouldn't pour it on a hot burn that's really, really bad, but like slight burns, like a sunburn, it's actually very calming for that. But yeah, it's a nice feeling because people really, really like that product. And it's, I do think of a friend that kind of got me started making it.
She inspired it.
She did. Yeah, she did.
That's awesome.
So it's great.
So what other products do you make?
Well, like when I told you I started kind of marketing myself as a wedding favor, bridal shower thing, I was like, well, people, like candles and things like that. So I make soy candles using soy wax because it's more natural wax. It's not like the paraffin with the color and different things. And again, I use phthalate-free fragrance or essential oils to scent the candles. Body balm, mostly soap. I mean, soap's been my bread and butter for a long time now and I enjoy it. So it's great. So I'll make gift baskets. I'll make other things on request. But like I said, my top 3 are the soap, candles, and the body balm are my major.
Okay. Do you still do the scrub?
Oh, yeah.
The body scrub?
Yes. I make sugar scrubs. It's a big seller, especially around Christmas, because I like to gift package my things. And that's a huge one. Thank you. Just a little bit of a brain
just popped into my brain.
Yeah, no, the sugar
totally
scrub.
Forgot
yes.
about it.
And again, it's all natural. It's just white sugar, natural vegetable oils like coconut and sunflower. And again, people who have like issues with dry skin will say they use that like every day, like on their hands or whatever. And just having that barrier after you're done, it leaves a nice moisturization on your skin. And I use that too.
It does. It feels really nice because it is like super oily, but not in a bad way. Just like in a very, very moisturizing way. So it's not like a rough scrub that leaves you.
No, it's very mild. It's gentle. And and people love it. So thank you for reminding me.
My pleasure. All right. So Carrie, where does all this take place? Where is your production?
So originally when I first started this thing, I was doing it in my kitchen, destroying the cabinets with all of my ingredients. So my husband, actually, we built a little she shed in my yard that's heated, air conditioned, very temperature controlled, insulated. And I'm in there winter, summer, fall, spring, working on my things, and I keep my mess out there and I don't have to bring it inside. It's been a great thing not having to go rent space and have that overhead for my little business. And it's just a nice little place to go hide sometimes when I want to be alone.
I can imagine that it's very therapeutic what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, my brain loves to keep busy. Like just recently I learned the sourdough finally, and the sourdough bread. So that was a process too, because I made my own starter from scratch, and that's the whole thing too.
I'm shaking my head because I have no patience for any of this.
Yeah, it was annoying me that I thought it was easier and it wasn't. And I finally cracked the code last week. So I'll be sending some your way eventually.
Awesome. I would love that. So when you are in your sheath shed, in the zone, doing your thing, do you have help at all? Or are you doing all this by yourself?
I do have a woman I bring on. Different times of the year I'm busier than others. Obviously, like this summer's a little slower. I do have a lot of weddings, but it's more like more work for one person than two. Definitely like fall, winter, I do have another woman that's like a PRN employee. She'll come in when I call her, and it's great. And we sit in that shed and we work and we talk, and it's like a social hour too.
That's awesome.
It's great.
And fall is probably really busy
Fall's
with weddings,
busy.
right?
Yeah. Summer slows down. It's like the spring is busy because people are having those like early summer showers, and then the weddings happen, later in the summer. So, but it seems like people do more bridal shower favors like this than wedding. Some people do wedding. I feel like candles maybe are more popular for weddings. But yeah, it kind of like has its ebbs and flows, but it's like any other business. It's the same. A lot of ebbing and flowing.
I just had a funny thought. So I know in the past, during Christmas time, you make the ugly Christmas sweater soap.
I do.
I love that. That goes in everyone's stocking.
Yeah.
So what else do you do seasonally?
Change up the scents. I'll do fall scents for soaps and scrubs, candles, obviously. Christmas time, I have a whole Christmas line I come out with. And every year in the fall, I try to come up with more new ideas. New packaging is really fun for me. I love coming up with like the designs of packaging and, even like gift boxes, different things like that. And I love I take all my own product photography pictures and do all of that, myself. And I enjoy it. It gets daunting sometimes because you're like, I got to take more pictures. And, sometimes I say maybe I should hire somebody, but I love it so much that
it looks so nice. The presentation is always so pretty.
Thank you. And so that I enjoy all of it. So my brain's always working, which is a good thing for me.
Okay. So somehow for me, all of this fits in with like self-care.
Definitely, yes.
And so do you have any self-care rituals that you want to share with us?
So of course I like to go to my Pilates class, which I, do religiously now, which is wonderful. I just do like that spa shower once or twice a week, where you're kind of using all your products in the shower.
You do that?
Taking the time. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, I definitely do that. Just time for yourself is so important, and self-care is huge. So I'm trying to think what else I do. I just like to read. I listen to audiobooks too. Just little things. But those little, even though it seems like 5 or 10 minutes for your brain, it's important. So,
it is.
Even learning new things for me is self-care, because I keep my brain busy. I don't like feeling like I really want to know how to do that. So I love all that. And I have the time to do it. So I like learning new things.
That's awesome. I'm with you. I like learning new things too, but not sourdough.
No, it's not that hard once you crack the code. So.
But you have to take care of something.
You do. You have to feed it like a baby every day.
I'm done doing that.
And put it in the fridge. And yes. So it's good. It's been fun learning how to do that. I have to say. Yeah.
I love what you just said in regard to the product shower. What did you call that?
The spa shower.
The spa shower.
Once or twice
you
a
can
week.
market that.
I know, like a little packet. That's a good idea. I might have to do that.
I want it.
Yeah, okay. It's like a boot camp, like spa shower boot camp.
I love that. Okay, that's such a great idea. I think that would make a really nice gift.
That's a good idea.
All right.
Putting it in the vault.
All right. So, Carrie, if people want to, and they will want to, follow you and order some of your products, where can they find you?
Okay, so I sell on Etsy. I've been there. That was my first place I started selling. So it's Brownies, andginger.etsy.com. I also have a website, Brownies and ginger soap. .com. I also do wholesale for small businesses on the site Fair, Faire, and you just have to search brownies and ginger. And I'm on Amazon too, but not as much as I'm on their handmade site. I more focus on my website and my Etsy most of the time, but I do get orders on Amazon too.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's a handmade site. You have to be accepted. Sometimes they're a little stringent with their shipping guideline. You know, they want you shipping like tomorrow, you know, when, you know, my stuff's handmade, so not everything can be shipped out in 1 or 2 days.
Right.
So sometimes I struggle like with them a little bit because it's handmade and, you know, I understand, but they're pushing you to, you know, push it out faster, which can affect your quality. So we don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So that's why I kind of step back from there a little bit. But
okay. And you just mentioned shipping, and you had, I think, previously said that you have clients that are across the country.
I pretty much have shipped to every state at this point. I don't ship outside the U.S. It's just the hassle of the, you know, the paperwork and things. But I have shipped to pretty much every state, including Hawaii. I shipped to Nantucket Island once. Like, it's just little places you just don't even know exist that my soaps have gone, which is amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I need to get a map and start putting pins on it.
I've seen that.
I've seen that.
I love that. You should do that.
Yeah, it's
that would
really
be so much fun. You can put it in your she shed.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? I'm going to actually do that because if I go back the 13 years, 12 years, I could totally see it's everywhere, and there'll be a lot of pins in different places. But I do have a big following locally, which is great. And you can also pick up from me if you place an order. Just send me a message, and you know I'll send you a code to remove the shipping, so you can just do a pickup. So, and yeah, it's been a good gig.
Awesome. So Carrie is at browniesandginger.com. browniesandgingersoap.com.
Yes.
And Brownies and Ginger on Etsy.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, that was amazing.
Thank you. This was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yes.
Well, that's a wrap on this episode of Living the North Jersey Lifestyle. I hope you're leaving with a fresh perspective, whether it's how you stage your yard, understand what's happening in Ringwood, or support a local business that's doing something beautiful. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend, leave a comment, or send me a message. I always love hearing what resonates. And if you're thinking about selling your home in North Jersey, remember, it's not just about the price, it's about presence. I'm Betti Russo, and I'll see you around the neighborhood. So here they are. I love, love, love these soaps. Check it out. Let me get them out of my secret stash area. This one is by Carrie, Brownies and Ginger. It's candy cane soap. I know candy cane season is not now, but I bought a stash of them over the holidays last year, 6 months ago. And I still have one left. It's so nice. Then this is my absolute favorite. It's the oats and honey soap. This one actually have oats. It has oats in it. You can see the oats right there. So good. Such a nice body scrub. And one more, we have lavender calendula soap. And it has flowers on it. Isn't that pretty? They're so nice. This one is really nice on the skin. And there you have it, Brownies and Ginger soaps.